everybody's doing good. Carl Bryan coming at you. Hope everybody's rocking, having a little bit of a look-ski, see who we got. Okay, so Patrick, are you there, my man?
I'm here. How's it going?
Going good, bud. Going good. Ready to rock and roll. And for those of you guys listening, if you could do us a favor, if you got a question for us, do me a favor, go and chuck it up into the box. I'm going to open up a couple lines here in a sec to say hello, make sure you guys can hear us and see us. So we'll be doing that. But, yes, if you got a question, either raise your hand or chuck it in the box. But in the meantime, let's open up a couple lines and see how we're doing. Let's start with my boy, fellow Canuck here, Don Evans. So, Don, I'm going to say hello to you, bud, but you're self-muted. So you got to unline. He is. Don, how you doing, man?
Great. How are you?
Fabulous. What's happening?
Well, I'm working on the license end of things. Had a good call earlier this afternoon. I was happy to see that I'm more or less in line with some of the results some of the other guys are getting.
Good job. You're about to kick some butt and take some names, yeah?
Yeah, that's the intent. At least take some names.
Yeah. All right. Kubernetes, how's the weather in Calgary today?
Oh, no, we're not going there. No.
No? Oh, no.
Snowing probably.
Bad. Yeah.
Hey, it's ski season.
It's not snow. Has it been snowing lately?
No. Well,
not that bad.
We had, did you read about the hail damage? $1.2 billion damage in the northeast part of the city. Fourth worst disaster in Canadian history.
Wow.
When was that? When?
It would have been just a week ago. Last weekend or the week before.
I remember hearing, but I didn't realize it was that bad. But I remember actually hearing a little bit about it. But yeah, I jogged my memory. But ouch.
That was just to your property, Don.
How'd you know, Pat?
There you go. Cool. All right, Don. Well, cool, man. Good to have you here, bud. I'm going to put you back on mute. A little bit of hail damage. That's no fun.
Over $1 billion. Dang.
Yeah, ouch. Gonna come down to the bottom to my boy Wally. Yo, Wally, you're self-muted, man. Unmute yourself, bud, if you want to say hello.
Oh, there it is.
There he is. Yo, Wally, what's happening there, dude? The man of abundance.
Yes, indeed. Another beautiful day in paradise. So there's some serious technical difficulties I'm having with my computer over the last couple of days. But other than that, working through it all, man. I've been getting through the software and everything else that we have taken a look at. And I was actually going to do a profit acceleration 45-minute meeting last week. But as it turned out, the referral that I got didn't actually own the moving company. He's the salesperson for the moving company, for a big moving company, a national-wide moving company. But I'm going to still be able to work with him. It just wasn't something I could run him through the PAS with.
I gotcha. All good, man. And how's everything else going? Good.
I'm getting back on track. I have my daughter-in-law here for a couple of weeks while my son is getting ready to transition from South Korea back to the States, which we just found out today. He's coming back mid-August, so he's going to be here mid-August. So I'm trying to get back on track, get my schedule back on regular schedule.
Yeah, also you must be excited about that. It'd be an understatement.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because with everything going on, he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to travel when he was supposed to, and he is. So we're super excited about that.
Hey, by the way, was that the moving company? Was that the one from the ad, by the way? Remember the ad that you sent me? Like you did a video of
no.
That advertising.
That ad was for a hot tub, a spa hot tub type of business that's out here in Florida.
Yep. Have you been doing that process? Maybe tell everybody what you walk everybody through what you did, because I want them to hear it. Because guys, you want to use this approach. It's an absolute beauty, and I would do it every single day. But let Wally, you take the floor, man, and tell them what you did, and then I'll give them my pointers, what I think.
Yeah, afterwards. For sure. And this is something that I've been able to schedule other appointments with other clients with. Is I'll go through the newspaper, and I learned this from you, Carl. Obviously, one of your I need clients right now videos. And this was a huge ad. And I just knew they spent like 60 grand on this thing at the very least. And so I just used Loom. Is it Loom? I used Loom and did a really quick video and just shared some information, basically telling them, I know you're not able to track this. I know you don't know how many leads are coming from this, that, and the other. And I would like the opportunity to show you, what's missing in this ad, so that you can not only start tracking it, but actually start getting massive results from the ad. And I knew they weren't able to track it because the phone number they put on the ad was the same phone number that's on their website. They could easily put a different phone number and at least track what they're getting. Yep. There was no website on the ad at all. It went to an ugly website, just terrible website that could easily be revamped, and they would just kill it, especially with the reach that they had. So I'm sure I said a few other things. In fact, I sent the original one to you, Carl. You gave me some new pointers. I re-recorded it and sent it out. And in fact, I've still got that ad sitting here on my desk, and I'm going to reach out to them again here shortly.
Yeah, I'm going to look.
So what was the result?
Cool.
Well, the result on that one was here's the problem. I sent it out, but then I let other people take a look at it. So I don't know that on Loom, it tells you if anybody watched the video. Okay. So I don't know if they actually watched the video. So I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to send it out. But I've done this with other businesses. I've done it for billboards. I like to do video because nothing's lost in translation. I like to own my tone. And so I've been able to set up meetings and get clients through that process. It's extremely powerful. I like doing it anyway, and I like video. But yeah, I'm going to do it again so that I can only send it to them and make sure that I know that somebody in their team watched the video.
Cool. I am looking for that video right now.
I can send it to you if you like, or if you're going to pull it up there.
If you could, getting client. Hang on. If you while we're chatting, if you just give me the name of the video, and I'll just tell them to just Google me in the name of whatever I call that video. But it was how to get coaching clients, or it was something to that effect. If you could find it, Wally, that would be cool.
Okay.
While we're going through this, and I want to make sure just everybody heard what happened. So just in a nutshell, guys, and again, Wally's hopefully he's going to be able to find it, but send us a link here, a name of a video that I did where what Wally's describing is effectively the way I did it. And then, by the way, you heard Wally just say it, but you'll literally see me like it's a video where you just see me going through the process, and I'm just showing you some of the folks, right? But you're opening up every newspaper, every coupon book. If they've got a lame, like coupon book would do, it's not going to work quite as well because no doubt there's a pretty good offer in a coupon book. But believe me, people make a meal of that as well. But here's the extra: you go to websites as well, right? Like go to a website, do a video, right? A Camtasia video where you're like, look, this is the way. And if you put your own noggin, like if you look at the camera and then you talk. And then you turn it towards towards the screen and say, look, this is why your website is not pulling. Like, I don't need to ask you if you're generating leads from this website because I know there's no chance for these reasons. The same way that Wally just said a minute ago, the reason I know that you don't know if this ad is working is because the phone number that you've got is the same website or the same numbers you've got on your website, and therefore you're obviously not able to track it. And by the way, I know like the amount of money that you would have spent on this ad dictates that you're absolutely crazy not to have a different phone number to be able to specifically track it. So by the way, if you want to chat, here's a reply to the email. And let's have a 10-minute chat. And if you don't, that's totally fine. But please make sure you make these adjustments. God bless you. Goodbye. Basically turn off the video, and that's it. Do 10 of those a day, and guys, you're going to get some action without question. So the nuts and bolts of it, guys, you're just looking at newspapers, you're looking at magazines. If you've got the equivalent of the Yellow Pages, which again, I know there is one of those. In fact, as I walk over here to my little bookshelf, I've got. In Canada, it's called infonews.ca. which is, it's half the size of what the Yellow Pages used to be back in the day. But I'll tell you, there's literally, as I flip through it, literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of not just line ads, but display ads that people are paying some pretty good dough in. So call those, get the equivalent of that in your city, and I guarantee there is one, and just basically open it up and do exactly the process that Wally just outlined. Just can't. Oh, and by the way, you close it with, again, I can find any business owner $100,000 in 45 minutes without spending $1 on marketing or advertising. Just conveniently throw that in with your pitch, and you're going to get some results, guys. The end.
That video
no,
was
Wally, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Anything you'd add to that, bud?
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you outline it perfectly. And then I just took it, and instead of calling him on the phone, I just took it to video. And the video is Ask Carl Bryan how to get a coaching client in 72 hours.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so guys, if you just Google that, Carl Bryan, how to get a coaching client in 72 hours?
Correct.
Yeah,
That's
Google
just
that.
what
How
I
to get a
Googled.
coaching client in 72 hours. Boom, it'll pop up and you'll see the video. So thank you, Wally. Good job, dude. Pat, anything you'd add to that, bud?
No, I just think it sounds brilliant. And I mean, actually, you hear so many different ways of getting clients. The real secret, I think, is taking a method like this. And like you said, just do 10 videos a day. 1 week, you send out 50 videos. Man, if you don't have some people calling you or knocking on your door from that, there's got to be a big problem. So I just hammer away at it.
And Pat, no doubt you'd agree with this, and Wally, definitely you will as well. Like in that, your first one, it's gonna suck. Okay, warning. Send it out. Don't worry about it. Right? Like no big deal. My first videos, in fact, you watch my videos, they all suck. It doesn't matter. You just talk to the screen. That the trick is you got to be educational. You got to give value, right? Like don't worry about how good you look. Make sure that your content and the advice that you're giving is excellent. And believe me, they won't. They're not looking at it from a critical point of view that is this Tom Cruise. They don't give a stuff, right? They're just looking at it from, can this guy help me? You help him, and bingo, bango, bongo. So like Pat said, just literally do super discipline. Try to do 10 a day, but by the way, that's too big. Just do 1 a day. And what you're going to find is you're going to do 1. It's going to feel good. You're going to send it out, and you're going to end up doing 3, and then you probably get to 10, right? Like you will get coaching clients with 1 zillion % certainty. And very importantly, you're going to get so much better at both your on-camera, what do we call it? Your on-cam, your presence on camera, right? Because frankly, it's not the easiest thing in the world, at least not for me. I much prefer audio than video, but at the end of the day, it's not rocket science. So you'll get better at. You'll both get not just the presence, but also your ability to critique the ad, the website, whatever. Hey, sorry, Wally, what'd you say?
Yeah, no, great stuff. I was going to add, the reason why I started doing that originally was when I connect with people on LinkedIn or just in general, and I see their website, I will use the evaluation calculator, evaluation. I got a couple here on my desk. I just got a big old pile. Goodness, what's it called? The evaluation calculator. Anyway, the form, and I'll basically, real quickly, I just do like maybe 3 minutes. I'll review their website and tell them, look, you're scoring like a 1.8, and I know how to fix it. If you want success, and by success I mean for your website to actually make you money, and I'll have their website. So and then the cool thing is when you post it, like in LinkedIn or even in an email, it's like a movable slight video. So they see their website and they're like, well, wait a minute, what is this video with my website on it? And they're going to open it, and when they read it because Loom notifies you that somebody's read it, and they'll and all you got to do is book your calendar link and say, hey, let's sit down for 45 minutes. I want to show you what you can do different and something new that you've never seen before. What you always talk about, new is better, and then improved. And they jump on your calendar real quick.
Actually, Wally, great point. Guys, what Wally just said, once again, home run. Wally, I'm glad I opened you up here, dude. You're full of wisdom today. I love it. Okay, what Wally just said, I want you to hear this very, very clearly, guys, and this is so important. Okay, when we drive traffic on the internet, and as you guys know, we do lots of that, we drive traffic on the internet, the worst performing offer is improvement. Okay, so you've got a chiropractic office, you did $1 million last year. I'm going to help you, I'm going to improve your business, and we're going to get to 1.2, and you're going to be happy and your staff are going to be happy, etc. That would be improvement. Okay, that's the worst performing offer. Okay, so that's the problem. What's the solution? What is the best performing? The best performing is always a new opportunity. Okay, new. Okay, so what is an example of that with a coaching client? So I want you to think both from a lead generation standpoint, but I also want you to think on that first call, like when you're going to close at the end of this video that we just described, and also, and very importantly, when I'm sitting in front of you, or we're doing a screen share, or we're on the phone and we're doing a consultation. The way I want to be framing it up is that all of this stuff is going to be new. So what would be an example? You're going to end up with a new website. You're going to have a new website presence. You're going to have a new sales process. You're going to have a new process on the internet to get opt-ins, like a squeeze page that's going to bring in a bunch of new leads. You're going to have a new lead generation process. You're going to have a new and reinvigorated sales force. You're going to end up, so it's just new. Everything, lead generation, new services, new products, new pricing, new everything. You want to make sure that you're positioning everything in that light. I hope that's making sense, but I guys, what I'm describing here and what I'm talking about will completely transform your sales conversions big time. Okay, so Pat, before I finish that, do you agree with what I just said, and would you add anything?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm actually going to show you a resource here that you can go to. Give me about 30 seconds to get to it, and you can continue there. But I'm going to show you something that people are going to love, and they've already got access to it, and it's going to help them so much. So let's see here. Let me show my screen again. Tell me if we're in.
Breakthrough.
You see my mouse moving there. We got priorities. We got advertising as the first priority. So now, if you are in advertising or you're in your breakthrough 40, you find a breakthrough in advertising you can just do for yourself. Go to implementation calendar. Click on this implementation link. It's hard to see, but it's there. Click on that link, and you have the review the components of a direct response ad right here with like 10 things an ad should do. So when now this is great for Wally as well, because it just gives you a framework, and you can say, hey, just saw your ad in the paper today, you're giving a little video, and it's like, you don't have a compelling headline, that's 80% of your ad. It doesn't evoke an immediate response, action, visit, call, or purchasing decision. It doesn't overcome sales objections. It focuses on benefit, not features. It doesn't answer major questions. All those things, Wally says it should be keyed in a way that you can analyze the value, profitability, and performance of that. And from that phone number, they weren't able to do that. Back up the promise with a risk-free warranty or money-back guarantee. So this is kind of the components of a direct response ad. And here are some benefits of it as well. So if you just go through these two sections under advertising, these will give you the scripts, the fodder to just be able to rattle off very quickly what's wrong with an ad. You don't have to guess so much. It's like, just go through the checklist.
Yeah, you just gave me an idea, Pat. So guys, what you want to do, okay, so if I'm trying to sell you something, in fact, let me give you an example. That you guys might be able to, I'll give you a metaphor example, and then you guys take it for your coaching, okay? So I used to teach retail sales, okay? So what do we try to do? You own a retail shop, and then you'd hire me to increase sales, okay? So what we do is we go through a process. So what's the dynamic? You've got a store, and imagine you're in a strip mall. Well, the first thing is we have to get them into the store, right? Mistake that people make is they try to go to the cashier, right? Whereas you actually have to start through the experience. So how did we do that? We would put music. So we get DJs. It'd be summertime, and we would get a DJ that would park himself out front of the particular retail store. And the place that I helped is called Mossimo, right? So retail shop. So we would put a DJ out the front, to bring them in. Okay, it's a real popular street in Australia. Think of like Rodeo Drive, right? Like it's not that flash, but it was comparable, most definitely, right? Anyway, so lots of foot traffic. So you're walking by. We had to get you into the store. How do we do that? We have during the week we've got music. So in other words, speakers outside the store with cool music of the demographic that we're looking to attract, by the way, important. And then, of course, on the weekends, busy times, holidays, we'd hire a DJ and we park him out the front or put him as a window, in some case, and then put him as a window display also. But think about that. We're trying to bring you into the store. Now that we get you into the store, we've got to get you up against the clothing. Once we get you up to the clothing, we got to get you to hold the hold the clothing. So if it's a pair of jeans, I would have it. Imagine I'm the salesperson. I pick it up. I've got it in my hands. The trick is to get it into your hands, right? Because if you don't put it in your hands, you're never going to get it, right? You start feeling it. Oh, wow, feels good. So now I get you holding the pants, holding the blouse, holding the shirt. Where do I got to get you then? I got to get you into the change room, right? So now once I get you into the change room, where do I got to get you? I have to get you out of the change room, okay? Because some people will go try the stuff on, stay in there, not come out because they're embarrassed, they're shy, whatever, and then we're going to lose a little bit of magic that's about to come. We get you out of the change room. Where do we want to get you? In front of the mirror. We get you in front of the mirror, and then what strategically happens, and it couldn't happen every time, but we would always try. We try to get we had male and female staff. We would always try to get a male and a female to say, hey, that looks pretty good. And by the way, if it looked horrific, we wouldn't say anything, right? But the idea was that if they looked like something that fit well, that it suited them, the woman would say, oh, wow, that looks good, whether they were serving you or not, right? Just a passerby. So we try to get a male and a female to both complement you. Important. Now, once we get you out of the change room in front of the mirror, where do we got to get you? Back into the change room. And by the way, when you're in the change room, our spidey senses immediately go to what would complement that pair of jeans or that shirt or similar. And we'd get one in the same size and throw it up on the thing and say, hey, you might want to try this as well, which sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. It definitely increased sales and over 12 months made a huge dent. Now we get you into the change room. We got to get you where? Out of the change room, and then where? To the till. You pay, and then it's goodbye. And then, of course, you leave with a voucher or something that's basically going to get you back with an expiry date within the next 30 days. Okay? So what I was trying to explain there is think about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of what I just described. You ever notice that an internet marketer will do something online and they say, leave me a comment? Why do they do that? It's the equivalent of getting you to pick up the jeans or to put the shirt in your hands. It's a small, sturdy step towards you basically pumping in your credit card details to buy something. It's very important, right? So it's engagement. Okay, so why did I just go through that? Here's what I would do, and Pat just gave me the idea, is that at the end, I want to get the ball rolling, right? I don't want to try and get you to the cash register too quickly here with this video. I would say to you, I think a really good close would be if you want me to put together a quick little checklist of what I would encourage anybody to have on their website, in their ad, as a headline, email me back and I'll send you a quick list. Well, they email you back. That's the equivalent of engagement. That would be the same as leaving a comment. They email you back. This is a big step towards them buying from you. And then you just send them exactly what Pat just showed you. The answer's at the back of the book right here in your software. Just take these bulletproof notes or these bullet point notes, copy them, paste them into an email, say, hey, it was, thanks for the response. Great to hear from you. Here's a bullet point. Let me know if I can help further, right? Again, God bless, many thanks, catch you later. Cheers, big ears, I often say, just to make it nice and soft, right? As though I'm a fun guy. Cheers, big ears. And then, and I use my initials instead of my name for whatever reason. That's what I do. So there you go. So that would be it. Rather than trying like, hey, let's jump on a call, because that might feel a little bit aggressive early on. And it might be and then you'll get a little bit more engagement. You get the wheel rolling. And remember, if they don't end up buying from you, but then you could invite them to your virtual live event, your live event at the Chamber of Commerce, etc. You start building your list that way. So, and Pat, Wally, anything you want to add to that, guys, please chime in, but that's how I'd be doing it.
I wish I'd thought of that. That's good.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Just so I was mentioning a form earlier that those that are wondering what I was talking about is the conversion equation evaluator. And that's what I would use briefly. But I think sending in the email, less is more. And I think like this checklist that Pat has up would be something even better, because the conversion equation evaluator is pretty long. I mean, it's one page, but most people won't take the time to read through the whole thing, but it would give them some ideas. I might attach it as well.
Yep.
The equation I did for them. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like, look, what I would do is I would test it, but I feel like doing some more work on their behalf would be a little more magic. So I feel like the way that, look, if you want me to put together, it's not, do you want me to see the difference between, do you want me just to send the checklist? Do you want me to put together, some point form notes on what I would include in a powerful piece of marketing material? Email me back and I'll knock something together for you. Right. So
yeah,
I feel
it's
like
more personal that way, right?
Yeah, more personal, and it feels like you did some work on their behalf, and people love it when you do some work on their behalf. So that's what I say. But you know what I would do is I would test it, and I think both will work. By the way, any of this stuff will work, guys. Like, just if you do these videos and you continually send them out, like Pat said, 10 times a day, as many times as you can a day. But don't plan for 10 or you'll get to 0. Plan for 1, and you'll end up getting to 3, 5, and 10. Because of the low threshold, it's just easier. Same way, if you want to get in shape, don't go run a marathon. Just put your shoes on firstly, and then walk around the block. And guess what ends up happening? You don't come back for 30 minutes. It's a 101. Similar kind of approach there. But that's what I'd say, Wally. I do think the way, let me go do some work on your behalf. And then again, I would adjust it, make sure. So if I was going to do that, again, I would adjust this wording ever so slightly. Just to make sure that it felt like as though, like sometimes, again, when I send out that email, I'll intentionally put a spelling mistake, right? Like a grammatical error. I do that intentionally because then it looks like somebody actually typed this out. I can tell you this, spelling mistakes will actually increase your conversions 100%. So there you go. And but it's not sloppy, right? I'm just talking about missing a letter, like invested. Rather than leave out, I would leave out the V in invested, or maybe the T, so that it was very obvious that I missed a letter. Not that I'm an idiot and I can't spell. That's actually important. But there you go. So there you go. What do you think of that, Wally?
Excellent. Love it.
Wow, that's good.
Awesome. Okay, bud, I'm going to put you back on mute here. And we got a few questions here, Pat. So we're going to go to Tony's got some feedback for us. Tony, you're self-muted, man. There you go. Hey, Tony.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for unmuting me.
Fabulous.
Along the lines of what you just mentioned when it comes to increasing conversions, I think I just want to share with you guys, I've tested and did a case study with using Loom, Vidyard, Bonjoro, and YouTube has been by far the highest converting for me, and here's why. With YouTube, when you upload a video, there's 3 types, right? There's public, when anyone could see it. There's private, where only you could see it as the owner of the channel, or unlisted, where you have that unique URL you could share with people. And the reason why I found when I was doing this, what I found was to be, YouTube was much more successful because of the thumbnail and the safety factor of it not being looked as like a, spam or, kind of a weird URL, because that's the biggest problem that Loom and Bonjoro and Vidyard have. Is it's great for customer retention and everything like that because they trust you already, but for prospecting, YouTube hands down kills it, because when you do it on LinkedIn, it creates a GIF and it works. It's mobile friendly. So there's a lot of ways you could slice this, but hands down YouTube won every time because of it's owned by Google, obviously, and the technology is better, it looks safer, and a lot of people use G Suite like we all do, and it automatically pulls it up in the footer of the email, which is another win. So I just wanted to share that with the group for what it's worth, because of all the value that Wally brought and you bring every week. So Over.
Legend. So
So
just what you're saying though is like rather than using a funky service, you're sending when you send you're going to do the exact process that Wally outlined. You're going to do a video of an ad or a website or whatever. You're going to create it, but you're saying if you put it on YouTube versus something they haven't heard of, your conversions will be higher because they trust YouTube.
Yes, YouTube is the second highest search engine on the planet. So, and they recognize the technology, they recognize the URL when it's a clickable link, and the thumbnail that it generates. Yeah, hands down. You could even, Wally, you could even continue to do your same process, upload on Loom, and you could re-download it. I know it's an extra step, but your conversions, I found, they went from like 1 out of 10 videos being watched on a good day to 5 out of 10 being watched, and that's that simple change.
Wow, dude, high five! I love it. And by the way, so the concern for some listening is that, well, but if I go and put 67 of these on my YouTube channel, I'm going to look like an idiot. But you're saying you keep them private, and you're just sending them a thumbnail that they'll only be able to see that video, and it won't be made public.
Exactly, because there's 3 types. There's the public, right, that anyone could see on your channel. There's private, which only the owner of the channel could see, and there's unlisted, where it's not anywhere, it does not appear anywhere on your channel. And when you just grab the URL and you send it to someone, whoever has that unique, weird, long URL that says youtube.com/ whatever it says. So only people who have that. And then what I typically do is I kind of put a sense of urgency on it and say, hey, this will be automatically deleted in 3 days. Like I got that idea from Zoom, because Zoom, you could set things to be automatically deleted to not take up source space. So I put that on my outreach. And what I do is I go in once a day and look. And if it's been viewed, I click it and make it private. So I have it for if I ever need to go back and critique myself and find out what I did wrong, or when I score a win, I can see, oh, this is the only differentiator that I did on this video. Whether it's the messaging or the subject line, or even putting an emoji and the video title on YouTube, and it shows up on the email outreach on LinkedIn. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Wow. There you go, man. Beautiful. Anything else, man? Tony, give us some more, dude. Give me another tip like that, dude. That's a beauty.
I think it's huge. It's and you can't falsify the view count. It's YouTube just hands down crushes it. And you could go inside your video channel to turn off ads, gentlemen and ladies. That way they're not going to see other people's ads. And if the biggest challenge with what Wally's doing is getting people, if they watch his video, why would they not take a consultation with him? But getting them to trust to click that link, when they get that email on Outlook, it says external link. And they're already worried, but it's YouTube. They go, it's YouTube. I'm on there all day long anyways, especially with what's going on. But I would love to hear everyone's feedback. If a couple weeks go by, if anyone else tries it, or if Wally changes it, please let us know.
Interesting. I love it, man. High five, bud. You heard that, Wally, no doubt, man. Everybody tests that, but I can tell you, I almost don't need to test it, guys. Like that, Tony. It's the same when you do I know we did that with like an internet marketing, right? Like I send you to a payment page that's not like PayPal was accepted because it was well known, but then there's like a zillion other ones, right, that got going. And when you sent it, like if you sent one out that wasn't PayPal, and it was a bit of an underground thing, your conversions were poor. And then if you made it PayPal, well, they increased markedly, and I'm going to say 20% with just a PayPal link as opposed to something else they haven't heard of because they don't trust it. So I love it. Great feedback, man. Okay, and guys, if you have any more questions, make sure you pump them in. Again, we're getting some beauties here, but raise your hand or chuck a question in the box. And Nabil, you are next, but you're self-muted there, boss. There he is. Nabil, how's it going, man?
Going really well here in Melbourne, Australia. How are you doing?
We're doing fabulously. We'd be doing a little bit better if we were all in Melbourne, Australia, but we can't be. So hey.
No, you wouldn't be. We just started the day before yesterday a 6-week lockdown. A bit of a second wave. So businesses that had opened up and were rubbing their hands because they're getting customers again had to go backwards. So it's a bit of a rough time. But hey, that's why we're here. That's why we're here to help businesses.
Good, buddy. High five, man. High five.
Absolutely, man.
So tell me, you got a question for us? I think
Yeah, I've just got a couple of quick ones. Wally mentioned a couple of things. He mentioned the conversion equation evaluator, and then he mentioned something else, which was the checklist, like the website critique checklist. Where can I find those? Are they in the system?
If you have a coach's website, there's a link literally on your coach's website for it.
Yeah.
Let me open up Wally. Make sure I know. Wally, are you there, bud?
Yeah.
Hey, can you answer Nabil for us, buddy?
I don't recall it. I've got the actual form, but like you said, it's actually on the website as well, but that's the clickable one for the prospects can go to. But goodness, I've been with you guys for so long. I made a bunch of copies of this and I've got it on my hard drive. I've got it on my computer.
Okay, on the website, there's the marketing evaluator. You're right. Okay, so I've got that.
Yeah, there's that, but there's a form that I use that I do that with when I'm evaluating a website. You can just use the one on the, just basically screen share or just read right off the one that's on your website. That's what I would do.
Okay.
If you don't have the actual form. But if you shoot me a message, I'll send you it to you.
Oh, so yeah, Nabil, if you check when you finished the training with Adrian originally, he would have sent you a Dropbox folder. It would be in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Wally, I might just take you up on that and just flick you a message because there was something that I'd heard over the last few weeks about the checklist for the website actually goes and you actually get a score. Whereas, is that this conversion equation evaluator?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that something different?
Right there, bud. Yep. And you'll see that there's different categories and whatnot. It's a pretty long checklist, but yeah, that's the one straight off it's on your coach's site.
Okay. All right. I didn't put the two together.
Yeah. Cool beans. Anything else we can help you with, buddy?
Not in a minute, thanks. Yeah, there's so much cool stuff.
That's good.
Okay, buddy. Cool bananas, man. Let me put you back on mute. Appreciate your question. How does Tony screen share with you? Oh, hang on. While he's not screen sharing with YouTube, he's doing your like the same process that you did, right? Where you created a video, you're looking at an ad, you're talking to it, you're showing him why the ad's a mess. He's taking that video, he's putting it on YouTube, right? And then he's taking the link and then sending it in an email to go, I created the video if you want to check it out. That I saw your ad and I just, felt called to. Actually, let me just open up. Oh, Wally's still open. There you go, Wally. You're still open.
Yeah, that makes everything that Tony said makes absolute perfect sense. The only thing is if you're gonna, like, if I'm screen sharing and I'm looking at their website, I would have to use ScreenFlow or something like that, which I use ScreenFlow to do a screen share and do that. I've also got the option to use StreamYard because I've also got StreamYard and I can do a live video and it'll post directly to YouTube. Just other ways to do it, but I just wanted to bring that up for the rest of the listeners that want to do an evaluation of a website. There's additional software you'll need to screen share for a YouTube, for the video for YouTube. But I could just do the same thing in Loom and, like he said, download it and then just upload it to YouTube. You could do that as well.
Look, let's just open up Tony, just make sure he doesn't. Tony, I just want to open you back up, bud, in case you got another trick. Just make sure. This is important, guys. You're going to want to use this. Tony, can you unmute yourself there, buddy? Maybe not. Maybe Tony's not with us. Yo, Tony, is still there, bud? Okay, he's not, but I'm pretty sure that's, that's it. Well, I think we got it covered.
Perfect.
Cool beans. All right, I'm going to put you back on mute. Anybody else got a question? Otherwise, we might end up having an early session today. Let's open up Edwin Gonzalez. Edwin Gonzalez. That sounds like a baseball name. Edwin, you there, buddy? Yo, Edwin. Come on, man. He's out throwing baseballs. A name like that. Oh, he put himself. There you go. That sound like a baseball name, Pat? You agree with me? Oh, here he is.
It does.
Yo, Edwin.
Hey, how you doing?
Yo. Good, man. You play baseball? Everybody's on the edge of their seat, wants to know if you're really a baseball player.
No, I'm not.
With a name like that, you should, man. You'd be in the major leagues, bud.
I wish, but that's not my
What's
skill.
happening? Say again?
It's not my skill.
No? Yeah, mine neither, by the way. Mine neither. Cool. Hey, what's happening? Give us the news, Edwin.
Well, I got a big question. Since we're dealing with this scenario of stay home, I've been trying to move throughout the social media. Is any advice or any way how we can keeping up with that part?
Yeah, you're trying to make social media work for you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I've been trying to because really I cannot go out at all. I'm here in Florida, and they basically shutting down back.
Yeah, that's crazy times amongst us. So social media, it's a long conversation. Look, bottom line, social media, you got to accept that it's a long play. Social media is not designed to get, it's not an instant gratification kind of place as a rule. Of course, there are anomalies, but generally speaking, you really got to accept that you got to put some time in, and you got to do that over a period of time to build up some trust, build up some skills, quite frankly, because there's some skills to it. But that being said, what do you got to do? Number one, you got to be careful not to spend. I used to run a presentation. I can't remember what I called it, but it was something to do with marketing your coaching business online. And I had the seven things that seven mistakes that they were making, or coaches were making, and the number one. And by the way, this was a decade ago, and then 5 years ago. And if I did it tomorrow, it would be the same number one. And that's that coaches spend too much time hanging out with other coaches on the internet. So if that's the problem, what's the solution? Make sure you're going and joining groups where there's your target market, right? So let's say, if you got a background as a mortgage broker, go get into, you want to go into groups where there's local business owners, not groups where there's coaches. That's super important. So now you join a bunch of groups, and if you see Martin Howie put a post, Edwin, in the Facebook group not long ago about this, but effectively what he said is you got to create a document where I want you to picture a Word document where you put, what Pat opened up earlier? In fact, it's still open. You see this content that you're looking at right here?
Yeah.
And it says review the
benefits
of direct response marketing.
Yep.
So somebody puts something about advertising and saying, I'm not getting results with my advertising. I was wondering if anybody has any pointers. Well, you could literally put these 4 bullet points, right? And then you take them, put them into a Word document, and whenever you want to answer with this, instead of writing it out and banging your fingers against the keyboard, you copy, you paste it in, and that answer that you're looking at right now would be very long in the comment of a Facebook post. And that's going to be a good thing because you're building authority. People see it and they're like, oh, wow, who's this Edwin guy? Like, that's a really well articulated series of bullet points on how to make advertising work. Gee, I wish I would have saw that prior, right? Well, then somebody comments back, and then you take it from the comments and what we call engagement, right? That would be engagement. You engage with them, they engage back. And then what you do is you take it to a private message where you say, hey, I'm the one, I posted that answer. Look, I've got an extensive background, or I'm, been helping business owners for a long time, where I've had a lot of success. You got to word it in your own way, right, Edwin? But you word it and say, if you'd like to jump on the phone for 10 minutes, and then in brackets, no sales pitch, I would be too happy to walk you through some of the challenges that people have with advertising and why they can never make it work. And boom. So before you go, Edwin, I want to throw it to you in a second, but what I just did, which is very important, is I started on social media, I went to private message, and then I go to a 15-minute phone call. Okay, so everything that I do on social media would basically lead to a 15-minute phone call. That's important, right? And then what do I do on the 15-minute phone call? I disrupt them, and I basically book them in for a proper consultation, which a proper consultation is where you find them $100,000 in 45 minutes without them spending an extra dollar on marketing or advertising. But importantly, I just walked you through 3 steps. I want you to think back of what I talked about with the retail sales earlier, where I got to get you into the store. I got to get you up against the clothing. I got to get you holding the clothing. I got to get you into the change room. I got to get you out of the change room. I got to get you back into the change room. And then I got to get you to the till. The mistake that people make is they try to get them to the till and they forget about the steps in between. And this is why their sales suck. Makes sense? So help?
Yeah,
Makes sense? Any questions?
it's making sense, and basically is what I've been doing. You clear up very well for me now the roadmap. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And really importantly, Edwin, everything leads to a 15-minute conversation, right? Everything. Because that 15-minute conversation is what's going to allow you to sell. You'll never in a million years sell a $1,000 or $2,000 per month coaching engagement over the internet. It will not happen. It will only happen over the phone or face to face.
Got you.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool, bud. There you go. And everybody listening, guys, just always thinking in a methodical 1, 2, 3 fashion. Again, just use the retail example I used. Pat, anything you'd add there, bud? Anything you'd expand upon?
Well, I was just thinking that this is a great topic as well to bring to the Facebook group, because so many people on the Facebook group who are experts in social media, and you're going to get so many
there you go.
Some great ideas as well. But yeah, it's a long-term play. So if you're looking to bring in clients now, there's probably a lot of other ways to do it.
Yeah, actually, Pat, a great point. Edwin, if you're looking for a strategy and you want a client immediately, I would be doing, what we've been talking about earlier, where, Wally just literally just, you basically just do a screen share, explain to them why this is not working, the changes that you'd make. Just wanted to provide some value. If you want, if you want me to knock together an email and tell you basically, put together a step-by-step approach that I would use to, get instant response through my marketing, fire me an email back and I'll try and knock something together for you. And then I would go actually, everybody listen to this, very important, at the bottom of that exact same email. And I could show you, if I go to my my own email box over the last 12 months, I can show you this 100 times plus. Where at the bottom of the email, I'll put a star, and I put feel free to ignore this entirely. Okay, and by the way, I got that from an email I got from none other than Jay Abraham about 20 years ago.
Wow.
He put it at the bottom of an email, and it kept me awake at night, where I'm like, what does he mean? Like, we just talked, right? Like, I thought we were going to do trillions of business together, and now he sends me an email 10 minutes later with, feel free to ignore this entirely. Like, why would I ever do that? So anyway, that's what I do, Edwin, just to be clear. Social media is a long-term play. You going to Facebook today, engaging somebody, and then getting a coaching client is... And again, there's always anomalies, but it's a process and not one that happens quickly as a rule. That help?
Got it.
Beautiful, Edwin. Thanks, man. Great question, buddy. Anybody else? We don't have any more questions, unless Pat, you got anything you want to add or anything that you specifically wanted to go over there, bud? Feel free, but if not, we'll.
No, that's it. I think we can. Got some
good.
great value here just listening to that. It's excellent.
Yeah, beautiful. Hey, good job, guys. These calls are always good and valuable.
Let me show something here. Yeah, let me show noresults-no-fee.com/VIP/PAS-calls. And everything is here that we're talking about. Plus, we're also indexing everything. So if you want to come in here and see where you got the same question, just go there. You can go right to the timestamp. It's approximate here. We're just putting round numbers on it. Go to the timestamp and you can find the answer to that question very quickly. So we'll have this call posted in a couple of days. If there was a script that you were missing, you can go in there and just find that script very quickly.
Beauty, well done. And by the way, to get to this, you just need to go PAS-calls. And what will happen is it will ask you for your login. You'll put in your login, and then you'll come to this. So PAS-calls is how you'll find your way here. Actually, Pat, before we go, I'm going to open Martha. Martha, I'm coming for you here, bud. I think she may have something because they emailed me something. Oh, Martha, if you want to chat, you got to unmute yourself. Unmute. Don't be shy, Martha. Come on now. We know you're not shy. Come on. Edwin, the baseball player, just opened up. There we go, Martha. What's going on?
Am I the only Martha in the group?
You might be.
I wasn't
What's
sure.
happening, Martha? Are you doing good?
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to put Dawn on because when we talked last week and we sent you an email, things have been moving along.
I know. I hear. Well, there you go. Where's Tony boy?
Yeah. There he is.
Well, how are you today?
Fabulous.
I'm listening to you. You sound pretty darn good.
I got Pat here. Pat's a very handsome man.
You know what?
Used to play football.
I really, really enjoy what I'm doing now. I finally got off my ass and starting to work for a living. And
good job.
And,
don't tell anybody. Martha might get up. Martha might go and buy a Louis Vuitton bag if you keep it up. Be careful.
Now, the project that I sent you the note on, it's gone so great. All I have to do now is I found a letter, or I didn't. Martha did. She found a letter for me. I already made the presentation. Already talked with the board. They're going to take me on, and we're going to do the whole project for 1,500 people. So,
wow.
I am excited like crazy.
Yep.
Cool.
John, can you explain what the project is again for the audience?
Explain. Yeah.
Well, I went to the Chamber of Commerce, and I told them what a terrific guy I was.
Yeah.
I learned that from Carl the other morning where he said I'm brilliant or something like that. I say that every morning now.
There you go. I would too. Damn, there you go, man. Amazing. Send one back for me.
I went through the PAS. I went through what I would like to do with each of the members. I also talked to them about doing a focus group, and they gave me the chamber to do the focus groups in, except you had said it would make sense to be in a room where it's four walls and not people going in and out.
Yeah.
And so they said they would help me find a place to do any of the focus groups. So my idea right now is to get people on the e-learning system, and also for the people that want to work with me on the PAS to get their assessment done. What I wanted to do is do a few of those one-on-one, because I'm a little bit uncomfortable until I use it 2 or 3, 4 times with people before I try to do it in front of a focus group. So that's where I'm at right now, and it's moving forward. And I haven't seen any dollars yet, but I have anticipations.
Yeah, cool. So any questions for us? Like, you feel good with it? Did you get, and again, I mentioned just doing a little bit of a test drive, but it sounds like you're past that and they're signing the deal and you're ready to rock, or what?
Yeah, all I got to do is pay my dues.
There we go, man. You'll be working. Now, that's good. High five, though. Congratulations. Again, hard work pays off. Everybody listening, guys, you see it. They get a deal done with a Chamber of Commerce, and they've taken them on, and they're excited. So pitter patter, let's get at her, and let's go. Let's go.
Thank you. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, and thank you for the response. That was great.
You're welcome. Good job. High five to you guys, and keep up the good work. All right, and no problem. Well, Pat, I think that's it, buddy, for us for today. Almost brings us to the end of the hour anyways, so we're good. Yeah, I think we're good, bud. Any final words here for our peeps before we shut this down?
No, we're all good today. We'll see you on, I guess, when are we talking next? Tuesday?
We're next Tuesday.
At noon. you have questions, you can do that, or you can also go into the software and just highlight that one more time. If I can get my mouse there, I'll go in there and go into support. And again, if you have a technical question, just click technical, and it's going to go to William. He's going to answer it for you. Non-technical will come to me, and I'll do my best.
You be awesome.
So that's it.
Okay, appreciate you guys. Pat, thanks for being here, man. Awesome job as always. For all you guys that asking great questions. Again, come armed with some questions, guys, because again, if there's anything you're thinking, and again, no dumb questions around here. Again, I ask them all the time, as you guys can see. I could probably get some dumb answers as well, Pat, I'm pretty sure. But hey, what the heck, we're doing our best. But no, I appreciate you guys. Come with some questions, and we'll keep this thing cranking. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Adios, folks.